The Augusta National Golf Club, Augusta, Georgia. April 1965. Another spring, another Masters Championship. They say it takes 4 elements to make an outstanding golf championship. A great course, great administration, a great field, and the true flavor and spirit of the game. The sure and certain presence of these elements has accounted for the growth of the Masters in 3 short decades into an authentic sports classic known and followed around the globe. The first requirement, a great course. In the opinion of many experts, the Augusta National stands in a class by itself. Built in 1931, it was designed by Bob Jones in collaboration with Alistair Mackenzie, the renowned Scottish golf architect. Bob Jones' dream course, they called it. But in truth, in its superb fusion of golf values and scenic beauty, it's every golfer's dream course. Among the Augusta National's most striking features are its greens, most of them enormous in size and severely contoured. A man must be an exceptional approach putter in order to win the Masters. It takes nerve and courage, too. This is the spectacular 16th, one of the 5 holes on the second 9 menaced by water. And framing all the beauty, the majestic Georgia pines, towering here above the 10th green. Oh yes, total length of the course, 6,980 yards, par 72. The second requirement, great administration. The Masters is the most faithfully patronized event in golf. To ensure the smooth operation of the tournament, the Masters has developed an experienced organization of over 1,400 specialists working efficiently and invisibly behind the scenes. The Pinkertons, the gallery marshals, the gallery guards, the concession workers, the maintenance crew, the men who man the scoreboards, the Augusta National celebrated caddies, Iron Man and Willie Peterson and all the rest, spotless in their white uniforms and green caps. Last but not least, the Rules Committee and other top officials. The Masters, by the way, is the one event where annually the officers of the United States Golf Association and the Professional Golfers Association join hands and assist the members of the home club in conducting the tournament. Pulling all the strings together, Clifford Roberts, co-founder of the club and perennial chairman of the Masters. The third requisite of a great championship, a great field. For the 1965 Masters, the usual strong international contingent, 19 players from 10 different countries. Several days before the start of the tournament, the defending champion, Arnold Palmer, arrives, piloting his own plane, accompanied by his wife, Winnie. He swings his plane over the Augusta National and peers down on the course where he has made so much history. Now he calls the tower and comes in for his landing, a very professional one. This winter, Palmer, the only 4-time winner of the Masters, played in fewer tournaments than usual. This appealing, colorful champion looks extremely rested and fit and ready. The co-favorite with Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, is already on hand out on a practice round. Here he plays an approach to the 17th green and hits the pin. Jack's playing with an old friend, Dean Beeman, the former amateur champion. A good many of the stars, as always, are on the practice tee, checking their swings, sharpening their timing. The fellow in the gray cap is Ken Venturi, the Open champion. Ken's old friend and teacher, Byron Nelson, now a Texas rancher, is on hand again. On the practice green, Ben Hogan. How the time flies. It's a dozen years since Ben set the record low total for the Masters, 274. Over from Japan again this year, Tomo Ishii. Close by his buddy, Chen Ching Po from Nationalist China. A very pretty stylist. Oh yes, up from the Caribbean, Chichi Rodriguez, a real swinger. Finally now, the fourth requisite of a great championship, the true flavor and spirit of the game. All the magnificent champions who have appeared in the Masters have contributed their share, but no one more than Gene Sarazen, who 30 years ago put the tournament on the front page when he fired the shot heard round the world, the fantastic double eagle here on the long 15th. We asked Gene how he would be playing the 15th this year.
Well, I can't reach the green in 2 today because in those days the fairways were very fast and you could at least 60, 70-yard roll. Today the fairways are very lush, very little roll, and I dare say the percentage of the field that reach the green is very, very limited. Fellows like Nicklaus and Palmer can reach it, and Dr. Middlecoff, but as far as the squire is concerned, he will play his 4-wood short of the water.
But at its heart, the Masters reflects the personality of one man, Bob Jones, the founder of the Augusta National. And today is in the 1920s when he dominated golf on 2 continents, the epitome of American sportsmanship. Thursday morning, the day of the first round. The sun bright, the sky blue and cloudless, the air fresh. A beautiful day for golf. The center of interest, naturally, is the first tee, where the traditional opening twosome, Jock Hutchison, 80 years old, number 80, and Freddie McLeod, 82 years old, number 82, are about to tee off. It's now 44 years since Jock won the British Open in 1921 in his hometown, St. Andrews. A nice drive down the left side of the fairway. Jock will take it. And it's 57 years since Freddie won our Open Championship at the Myopia Hunt Club back in 1908. Nothing wrong with that swing. A very square hit. Down the center, about 180 yards out. These 2 old boys moved right along. Last year, they completed their round in 2 hours and 35 minutes. The big guns will soon be moving to the first tee. 89 players in all, including 16 amateurs. Here's Kobe LaGrange, a young pro from South Africa. Dave Marr, who tied for 2nd place last year. Bernard Hunt, the British Ryder Cup star. Billy Casper, minus 30 pounds. Bruce Crampton, the young Australian professional. The irrepressible Billy Joe Patton. Sam Snead, at age 52, still one of golf's finest players. Bill Campbell, the United States amateur champion. At 12:30, Arnold Palmer, seeking his 5th Masters title, comes to the first tee and receives a tremendous welcome. Arnold doesn't fiddle around too much. He gets set quickly. A little to the right, but no trouble. Out on the course, Julius Boros is playing his approach to the 9th. And he's hooked it from that downhill lie. And the ball is headed for one of the front bunkers and thuds into the face of the hazard. A very difficult shot. An awkward stance. A half-buried ball. An excellent recovery under the circumstances. But Julius must now hole a curving 30-footer to salvage his par. No, it slips off the line. Jack Nicklaus has a very hot round going. Out in 32, 4 under par. Here's his approach to the 10th. That should be a beauty. It's drawing in to the left of the pin. A chance for another birdie. The greens, soft from the spring rains, are holding very well. We should see some low scoring today. Missed it on the left. Tony Lima, the British Open champion, has started to roll. He's birdied the last 2 holes. That ball is dead on the flag. A sensational shot, 5 inches from the cup, and Tony has picked up a 3rd consecutive birdie. The scoreboard tells us that Gary Player, one of the last to go out, has turned the first 9 4 under par. Trouble for Gary on the 10th, though. He's hooked his tee shot into the edge of the woods on the left. Gary has no shot for the green, but his lie looks pretty good, and he has room to swing in. He's hit a real good recovery. It'll be short of the green, but just where he wants it. Gary, as you know, plays the wedge just about as well as anyone on the Pro Tour. He's about 80 feet from the pin here. That's not one of his best. He's left himself well short of the pin, about 20 feet short. A tough side hiller. It should break quite a bit from right to left. Oh, a great putt, and Gary swoops after it. A very important putt, too. It kept Player's momentum going, and he proceeded to birdie 3 more holes in the back 9, and arrived at the 18th, 7 strokes under par. Here comes his second shot on the home hole. The line is perfect. That ball came very close to hitting the pin. If Gary can hold this putt, he'll tie Lloyd Mangram's record low round of 64, set 25 years ago. No, he misread the speed of the green. A 65, a wonderful round for the fine young South African athlete. That puts him out in front, 2 shots ahead of Jack Nicklaus, Tony Lima, Dan Sykes, and Tommy Aaron, all in with 67s. Several seasons ago, the Masters pioneered a new system of scoreboard scoring that enables the galleries to see almost at a glance how the leaders are faring. Briefly, red numbers denote the number of strokes under par that particular golfer is at that particular stage of the tournament. A green 0 means he's even par. Green numbers, he's over par. After this first round, green numbers are conspicuous by their absence. The field took full advantage of the ideal playing conditions, and 33 players in all broke par. Friday, the morning of the second round, another glorious spring day. Gary Player, a comparatively early starter, will be off at 11 o'clock. There should be fewer low scores today. A gusty wind is blowing, and already it's beginning to dry out the greens, making them harder to hold, faster to putt. It'll take skillful golf to break par today. On the first fairway, Tony Lima playing his second shot. The wind is carrying the ball well over the green and into the gallery. Tony will be running it up the bank. He's holed it. A dramatic birdie. Arnold Palmer approaching the first green. He had a 70 yesterday. A well-played iron. It should be up there close. About 15 feet away. A birdie here might get Arnold off on one of those blazing rounds. He's got that birdie, and that sets off a salvo from Arnie's Army. Tommy Aaron down the first fairway. And it looks as if Tommy has misgauged the force of the wind. Yes, he has. This calls for a very delicate little wedge. Keep rolling. Yes! That unexpected birdie puts Tommy Aaron 6 under par for the tournament and only a shot behind the leader, Gary Player. Gary is coming to the green on the short 6th, even par for the day, facing a testing 30-footer up a wicked slope. Listed by Whisker, a tremendous bid. Dan Sykes, paired with Player, putts for his par 3. Yes, sir. Dan needed that putt. He was already 1 over par for the round. 4 under for the tournament, though. Watch how still Gary holds his body. Perfect! Later in the afternoon, the situation has changed. Sykes has picked up 2 shots on Player. They're tied for the lead, 6 under par. On the long 15th, short of the lake in 2, Sykes plays his 3rd with a pitching wedge. Look at the backspin on that ball. It must have spun back at least 10 feet. This putt for a birdie 4 and the undisputed lead. No, he pulled it. Arnold Palmer has a very good round going today. 3 under par, playing the 520-yard 15th. Looks like he may have pushed that 3-wood a shade out to the right. Yes, it lands just behind the spectators massed in the green area. Nobody hurt. The surface of this green is hard and fast, and Arnold will have to drop this little wedge pitch just over the bunker to stop the ball near the hole. Perfectly executed, a beautiful touch shot, 8 feet past the cup. This putt to go 4 under for the round. Yes, indeed, dead center. Arnold went on to finish with 3 solid pars for a 68, the lowest round of the day. Midway through the afternoon, a surprising development. Jack Nicklaus has suddenly lost his grip on his game and has bogeyed 3 holes in a row, the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Jack's heading his approach to the 14th now, a 420-yard par 4 using a 6-iron. And he's misjudged the distance badly. The ball is landing and dying short of the green. Unless Jack can get down in 2, and he's 45 feet away with a terrific contour to go over, he'll have his 4th straight bogey. Real trouble. It looks good. Oh, it's a splendid approach putt, and it saves Jack his par. On to the long 15th. Jack's going for the green with a 2-iron. Struck it crisply. The ball is flying in a very high parabola, and it's carrying the lake with yards and plummeting down in the center of the green. A magnificent shot at a critical moment. 20 feet away, putting for his eagle. Heading right for the cup. Just pulled up short. Almost had it. He taps it in for his 4. No question whatsoever, that birdie was just the tonic young Jack Nicklaus needed to restore his confidence after that shaky passage. On the tee of the short 16th now, 190 yards long. Nicklaus playing a 6-iron. A wonderfully rhythmic stroke. He's got it right on the flag. Another superlative iron shot, 5 feet from the cup. Tommy Aaron partnered with Nicklaus. Pretty swinger. And there's nothing wrong with that shot either. A 25-footer for his deuce. Just twisted off the rim. After Aaron had putted out for his par, Nicklaus crouches over his birdie putt. And he's got it, his second birdie in a row. This courageous counterattack by Jack Nicklaus earned him a 71 for the round and placed him in a triple tie for the lead with Palmer and Player at the halfway mark. By the way, surviving the 36-hole cut with 2 round totals of 148 or less, 49 players in all, including 10 foreign stars and 6 amateurs. Saturday, the morning of the 3rd round, another brilliantly clear April day. Early in the morning, the fans in numbers begin pouring in. In recent years, the Augusta National has stopped selling tickets once the huge parking lots, which hold 10,000 autos, are filled to capacity. This year, for the first time, no tickets were even put on sale for Saturday and Sunday's rounds. They had been completely sold out before the start of the tournament. The galleries were treated to a succession of breathtaking shots. For example, on the 4th hole, Bob Charles confronts a slippery downhiller. And handles it rather well. Bo Weininger gets set comfortably and explodes from the bunker before the 4th green. And all but holds it. Billy Casper from 16 feet. Up to his old tricks. Over on the 11th, Doug Sanders is bunkered behind the green, 70 feet from the hole. And hits the back of the cup. Mason Rudolph goes after a birdie putt. And he cans it. Mason is really playing up a storm today. That's his 4th birdie in a row, en route to a fine 66. Gene Littler, also riding a hot streak, goes after a 60-footer. It topples in, and Gene almost topples over. On the 13th green, Raymond Sota. And the burly young pro from Santander, Spain, holds for a birdie. Mike Suchak lines up a putt for an eagle. This is a very easy game. It's a little harder, though, if, like Jack Nicklaus, you're in the thick of the fight, the thick of the pressure. Nicklaus is the first of the 3 leaders to go out today, a half hour ahead of Player, an hour ahead of Palmer. Here on the 2nd hole, he sprayed his tee shot deep into the pines, but recovered adroitly, and he has this 25-footer for his birdie 4. And that should do Jack Nicklaus no harm at all. On the par 3 4th hole, Nicklaus is playing a 4-iron. He hit that shot a little heavy, but it's going to be very useful, stopping about 10 or 11 feet from the pin. Looks like a straight putt. In all the way, Jack collects a 2nd birdie. Palmer, wearing a blue sports shirt, comes to the 4th after starting with 3 pars. He's hit a lovely shot right on the pin. It takes a big bounce and finishes about 20 feet past. A skiddy one, downhill with some left to right break. Arnold was a trifle too timid with it. He's left himself a tricky little putt. Boy, that broke off fast. 3 putts for Arnold, a costly bogey. And he's quite unhappy about that turn of events, understandably. Nicklaus, meanwhile, is really moving. He's added 3 more birdies to reach the turn in 31 strokes, putting him 11 under par for the tournament and giving him a big 4-shot lead over Player, the nearest man. Alongside the 11th fairway, a colossal gallery has congregated to watch Nicklaus play his approach. A 445-yard hole, and he's using only an 8-iron. Amazing. He's played a very intelligent shot, away from the water hazard, and onto the safe right-hand side of the green. So far, Nicklaus's putting has been superb. He has yet to 3-putt a green. He still has a putt left. A good par, and Jack remains 5 under for the round, coming to the 12th. That intimidating 155-yard par 3 across Rays Creek. Beautiful timing on that shot. And a beautiful shot, 5 feet past the pin. A chance for another bird. No, he missed it on the left. And the enormous gallery following Nicklaus moves to the 13th, a 475-yard par 5, a very possible birdie hole for the Ohio strong boy. After a booming drive, Jack has selected a 5-iron for his second. I repeat, a 5-iron. That will be home. It's diving to the left a bit and finishing hole high, 45 feet from the pin. Not a bad approach putt, but still about 4 or 5 feet short. Caught the high corner and fell. Jack's 6th birdie of the day. Gary Player, Nicklaus's closest pursuer, now trails by 6 strokes as he comes to the 13th and prepares to play his second shot. He's going for the green with an iron. An elegant shot by Gary, landing to the left of the pin and sitting down about 16 feet away. The try for the eagle. Inches short. By the way, did you catch the Caddy's Academy Award performance as he tried to shoe that putt in? A fine birdie for Player, but Nicklaus continues to burn up the course. He's birdied the 15th and 16th, and he's now 14 strokes under par for the tournament, 8 under for the round. And still 8 under, playing the 18th, 420 yards long, all uphill. After a gigantic drive, Jack is using a pitching wedge for his second. He's pulled it a shade, but he's on nicely. And if Jack can hold this putt, he'll break Lloyd Mangram's record round of 64. About a 25-footer. It's got the line. No, it's going to be short. About 16 inches short. A record-equaling 64 for Jack Nicklaus. A memorable exhibition of power and finesse. Indeed, nothing less than one of the great rounds of all time. With 18 holes to go, Nicklaus now holds a commanding 5-stroke lead. Moreover, standing 14 under par, he needs only a 71 to break Ben Hogan's record total of 274. Sunday, the morning of the 4th round. Another warm, clear, almost windless day. In the air, a current of excitement, for this is perfect weather for scoring. and it will certainly enhance Jack Nicklaus's chances of breaking the tournament record. Jack arrives at the practice tee shortly after 12, an hour before his tee-off time. He seems to be in a very relaxed mood. As Jack goes through his warm-up exercises and starts to tune up his uncomplicated upright swing, the main concern on his mind is the winning of the tournament. A 5-stroke margin is far from invulnerable. A new record? That will have to wait until victory is first assured. A little before 1 o'clock, Jack moves to the first tee. Let's watch the longest straight driver in the history of golf hit this one. He crashed that drive, and as it transpired, started his round with a birdie. A half hour later, Nicklaus arrives at the 4th, 1 under par for the round. A typical Nicklaus iron, climbing in a towering trajectory, floating down softly onto the green. Nobody in golf hits the ball as high as Jack Nicklaus. A 16-footer downhill.
Go, 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 go. Get up there.
He's home for another birdie. 8 shots ahead of Player, the nearest man. 7th tee, and if Jack can par in from here, he'll break Hogan's record total by a stroke. Man, he keeps nothing in reserve. Another long, accurate drive. A little pitching wedge left. A bit too firm on that one. Jack's using his putter from the fringe, downhill on a fast green. He's gauged the speed just right. Jack gets his par. Approaching the 9th green, Mason Rudolph partnered with Nicklaus on the final round. Oh, a beauty. That shot set up a birdie for Mason. Nicklaus, 60 yards further down the fairway, hitting his second, a pitching wedge. Bounding past the pin. Jack will play a careful putt, you can bet. The greens are racy now. Look at that ball swing over. Not a good putt, but it gives Jack another solid par. On the 11th hole, a spot of drama. Gary Player, who has been losing strokes and not gaining them, has hooked his approach into the bank of the rough before the green, perilously close to the water hazard. Gary's got everything under control now. 60 feet from the pin, gripping well down the shaft of his sand wedge. A fantastic recovery. But wouldn't you know, Gary then missed the putt. Moments later, Player tees off on the 12th, the difficult one-shotter across Rays Creek. That could be trouble. He's cutting it very fine. A fatal yard too short. A prelude to a double bogey on this treacherous par 3, perhaps the most fearsome hole on the course. Up ahead on the long 13th, Arnold Palmer firing for the green on his second. Is it going to be long enough? No, it slips into the bank of the creek. Playable, though. And Arnold, gouging the ball out with his wedge, engineers a terrific recovery. A breaking 8-footer for his birdie now. A perfect putt, but in truth, Palmer's battle is now with Player for second place. Nicklaus, rolling along very smoothly, very impressively, now holds a commanding 7-stroke lead. If he can get by the dangerous 12th, where calamity has so often overtaken the leader, Jack will have this tournament just about wrapped up. He's on the 12th tee now. A crisply struck 7-iron. Carrying the creek with yards to spare. Good stuff on it. Just the shot he wanted. About 25 feet away. That could drop. A marvelous putt by Jack Nicklaus. And that birdie puts Jack 2 strokes ahead of Hogan's record. And still 2 strokes ahead of the record, playing the long 15th. A crucial shot here, going for the green with a 2-iron. That should carry the lake in front of the green, but it's going to be close. Safely over the hazard and pulling up in the front of the green. And now, a new record is well within Jack Nicklaus's grasp. A 40-footer for an eagle. Record or no record, he didn't lag that putt to make sure of his birdie. He charged it. A 5-footer coming back. And this will be Jack's first 3-putt green of the entire tournament. Imagine that. Jack, however, is still traveling at a pace 2 strokes ahead of the record. He should do it now, playing very aggressively and with great confidence. After adding a comfortable par on the 16th, Jack plays his second shot on the 17th, a little 8-iron. Right on the stick, and Jack picks up still another birdie. As he comes to the 18th, he's 3 full shots ahead of the old mark. Another prodigious wallop. Pulled a fraction, but he'll be in pretty fair shape. Just off the fairway, playing his second from the hard pan created by the tramping galleries. He's hit a good shot from that lie. And it lands on the front edge and backs off onto the apron. Jack can take 4 shots to get down from here and still set a new record. A very fine chip. And Jack Nicklaus receives a rousing ovation as he walks onto the final green. A 69 for the round, and a record-breaking 4-round total of 271, 3 shots lower than the old mark. A jubilant Jack Nicklaus is congratulated by Mason Rudolph as he walks off the home green. Behind him, a truly epic triumph. Rounds of 67, 71, 64, and 69 on one of the world's most rigorous examinations in golf. That's Jack's father, Charles Nicklaus, congratulating him now. In achieving his second victory in the Masters, Jack finished with a record 9-stroke margin over Arnold Palmer and Gary Player, who tied for second. Among the top 10 finishers, one other foreign golfer besides Player, Remo Sota, tied for 6th. The Pinkertons carve a passage through the sea of spectators and escort the new champion to the clubhouse. Jack Nicklaus has become a very popular golfer, and hundreds of his admirers are pushing forward to shake his hand, slap him on the back, and otherwise express their pleasure in his victory. At the presentation ceremony held on the practice green, Bob Jones salutes Nicklaus's performance as the greatest in the history of tournament golf. Jones then adds, "Jack is playing a game with which I am not familiar." Then the green Augusta National jacket, emblematic of victory in the Masters. The new champion moves to the microphone, but his golf has already spoken for him, far more eloquently than any words he might summon at this moment. Surprisingly enough, for all his astounding length, Nicklaus was not able to gain strokes on his two nearest rivals, Palmer and Player, on the par 5 holes, nor for that matter did he build his winning margin on the par 4s. It was on the Augusta National's exacting set of par 3s that Jack, in effect, won the Masters, outscoring Player by 9 strokes and Palmer by 10 on the short holes over the 4 rounds. Throughout the tournament, his iron play was remarkably precise, and his sound, accurate putting the finest of his career. Known heretofore as a power golfer, Jack Nicklaus, the 1965 Masters champion, has now emerged as the complete golfer.